We've had 5 years, according to the Census Bureau, where American workers have not gotten a raise.
Workers in the United States have been squeezed now for a whole generation.
It is your hard work that drives our economy and builds the wealth of this state and this country.
You chose facing a corporate media, refusing to tell the truth.
Exposed. And if we're now thoroughly enmeshed in a global economy, and an economy that includes China, that includes Hong Kong.
Your hard work that raised families and built communities.
Because of corporate greed and corporate excess, you're all out of work.
You cannot break the spirit of the American worker and hope to remain competitive.
Performance of the Chinese mainland and other emerging economies.
Corporate executives are taking home millions of dollars when the company is doing worse and worse and worse.
Well, next gas prices, new numbers.
The shenanigans in the mortgage business and the whole credit industry.
In 1980, a CEO made 40 times the average worker. Today they make about 400 times.
We have reached a critical mass of people who think the present system is not working.
My dad, Roy Cook, was an aircraft mechanic for 38 years. For the past 23 years, he has worked for Northwest Airlines, the fourth largest airline in the world. Besides being mechanically inclined, he is also quite the chef. My mom, Susan, is a special ed teacher in a public high school, and no one can talk current events like her. My sister Sarah is a marine biologist and practically a yoga master. As for me, I work at a puppet theater and have an affinity for telling stories. When I was in elementary school, I went to Bring Your Kid to Work Day with my dad. I remember the hangar full of planes and disembodied engines, and the popcorn machine. I thought he was a genius. On August 19th, 2005, my dad and his fellow mechanics, custodians, and cleaners went on strike against Northwest Airlines. The main point of contention? Northwest wanted to lay off 53% of them and outsource their jobs.
With almost 93% of union members voting to authorize a strike, passengers worry, what next?
Mechanics walked off the job early this morning.
Northwest Airlines says rising fuel prices and high labor costs, among other things, have pushed it into a make-or-break situation. But the mechanics union says the airline has pushed too far, and now it's pushing back.
The world is watching us. We're going to do what we have to do. If it means taking this company into bankruptcy, if it means taking this company down, we either all come back or none of us come back.
Earlier that evening, union negotiators believed that they had a deal with the company.
I was in contact with our negotiators, and it was probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon when they called me as we were getting ready to set up everything in the back parking lot here. They felt we had a tentative agreement with the company. We had agreed to everything the company had asked for us. And they told me not to go overboard, just continue to set things up, and more than likely we were going to be settled out. And at 6 o'clock, I started getting phone calls from Boston, LaGuardia, and Los Angeles that our members were being forced off the property early by the company.
They were scheduled to work till 8 o'clock, and they wanted to stay till 8 o'clock. Well, it was 20 minutes to 8.
They went through all that trouble just to get those people off the property 20 minutes early because Northwest was bringing their scabs on at 8 o'clock. And they wanted to have all the replacement scabs in place 4 hours prior to the strike deadline. And so I called our negotiators back in Washington. They put me on speakerphone, and I told them that the company was basically lying to us. So at 11 o'clock our time here at 10:59, we had all our vans out there, and we carried our first picketers out to all our picket locations, and the strike was on.
There they are. I wish I received that.
This is your last chance.
Turn back.